You know, if you're getting ready to sell your home here in the Denver suburbs, here's a truth nobody tells you. Some upgrades, they help your value. Others, they just drain your wallet. And as someone who works with women 50 plus moving solo, I can tell you the biggest regret I hear is, I wish I'd asked somebody before I spent all that money. So today, I'm going to make sure you don't make the same mistake. Let's walk through the upgrades that actually move the needle here in the Denver market, and the ones that you can skip without any regrets. Simple, clear, and designed for the solo seller who wants confidence, not guesswork. You know what dates a Denver home faster than anything? Yeah, it's not your countertops, and it's definitely not your light fixtures. It's the stuff we stopped noticing years ago. The wallpaper borders around the ceiling, that 90s orange oak trim, the Tuscan gold walls that were the rage when we were watching Trading Spaces. And here's the good news. You don't really need to replace any of it, except for the trim, but you can paint. Painting trim instead of ripping it out? Well, yeah, that's a huge money saver, and it makes your house look instantly more current. So if you've got those older oak cabinets, or that orangey trim running throughout the house, a professional painter can tone it down with warm, modern colors in just a few days. It's one of the biggest value boosters I see without the price tag of new woodwork. And since we're talking paint, let me give you some designer cheat sheet colors I've found. I've seen them transform Colorado homes. French Canvas by Benjamin Moore, Dirty Chai by Claire, Denimes by Farrow and Ball, Natural Cream by Benjamin Moore, and Red End Point by Sherman Williams. These colors work beautifully in our Colorado light. They're warm, soft, and just modern enough to make the house feel refreshed instead of trying too hard. They also look amazing with LVP flooring, which we're going to talk about soon. Now, a quick note on glass block windows, because a lot of older homes in Highlands Ranch and Littleton still have those in the primary bathroom. Here's the truth. If they're exterior glass blocks, meaning they're part of the window system, leave them. Today's costs to replace them are huge, and buyers aren't really expecting those to be gone. But if they're interior glass blocks, you know, like those dividing walls that used to have random privacy features from the 90s, that's when removal might be worth discussing. But honestly, most sellers are getting a much bigger return by refreshing paint and flooring first. Bottom line, you don't need a remodel, you need a refresh. And if you're thinking, well, Peggy, who even does this kind of trim cabinet painting? I've got great vendors that specialize in exactly this. Just reach out. I can point you in the right direction. All right, now let's talk flooring, because if there's one thing I've learned showing homes all over the Highlands Ranch, Littleton, Parker areas, it's Coloradans love wood floors, like really love them. It's just something about the warm, natural look that fits the Colorado lifestyle. The sunlight, the mountain views, the open floor plans. Wood floors make a home feel lighter, bigger, and more Colorado. But here's the catch. Buyers don't like beat-up wood floors. If yours have deep scratches from Fido doing zoomies, or worn spots from years of foot traffic, you don't necessarily have to replace them. A simple resanding and restaining can make them look brand new, and it's often far more cost-effective than putting in an entire new floor. Now, let's talk about what to do when you have carpet right inside the front door. It's very common in our older Colorado homes. If that carpet is worn, flattened, or stained, it's going to be the first thing buyers notice, and unfortunately, it sends the message. This home needs work. This is the perfect place to upgrade to LVP. LVP is a sweet spot for Colorado because it looks like real wood, it's durable, perfect for dogs and kids, it handles our dry climate without warping, and it's more affordable than hardwood, and it instantly updates a space. If your home has a mix of tile, carpet, and older laminate, replacing the high traffic areas with LVP gives the entire home a more cohesive feel without blowing the budget. So here's the formula I use with sellers. Wood floors in good shape, keep them. Wood floors in rough shape, refinish them. Worn carpet in high traffic areas, replace with LVP. Carpet in the bedrooms, that's totally fine as long as it looks good. Buyers expect it. And let me say this, you don't have to redo the whole house. Colorado buyers care more about a clean, consistent look in main areas than whether the entire home was remodeled. Upgrade where it matters, save where it doesn't. That's what adds value. Now, let's move into the kitchen, because this is the room buyers think they care about the most, but not in the way most sellers assume. Let me say something that'll surprise a lot of people. A full kitchen remodel almost never pays you back right before selling. It's expensive, it's stressful, and basically you're fixing the kitchen for somebody else to enjoy. But you know what does add value? A kitchen that looks clean, coordinated, and well cared for. Here's where to focus. First, clean, and I mean really clean. Buyers open things, they always open things. So take the time to clean inside the refrigerator, inside the oven, yeah, even if you haven't opened it since 2020. The microwave, under the sink, stove knobs, cabinet fonts. A sparkling clean kitchen gives buyers the impression the home has been maintained everywhere, and that is priceless. And if cleaning feels overwhelming, bring in a professional deep cleaner. It's absolutely worth it. Second, create a cohesive look with appliances. Here's the truth. Buyers don't care if your appliances are brand new, but they care if they match. If you recently updated the fridge, the stove, and the microwave, but the dishwasher is still the old one from '06 with the loud personality, yeah, replace that dishwasher. It's one of the most affordable kitchen upgrades and instantly pulls the space together. Coordinated is going to equal cared for. Mismatched is going to be, well, what else is outdated? And third, you don't have to spend much to modernize a kitchen. Try swapping out old cabinet hardware, updating a light fixture, replacing a tired faucet, removing heavier cluttered decor, adding warm LED lights under the cabinets. These little details change the feeling of the kitchen, and buyers respond to how the space feels more than anything else. And finally, clear those countertops. Buyers don't want to see piles of mail, a big jar of protein powder, 7 small appliances. They want to see space. Space to cook, space to imagine, space to live. A clean counter makes the entire kitchen look bigger, brighter, and more valuable. Bottom line, you don't need a Pinterest kitchen. You need a clean, cohesive, move-in ready one. And Denver buyers will absolutely pay for that with an offer on your home. Now, let's talk about something that almost nobody mentions when preparing a home for sale. The things buyers actually touch. Yeah, because when somebody's walking through your home, they're not inspecting the crown molding. They're noticing how the house feels in their hands. And here's what I mean. Buyers immediately try door handles, locks, stair rails, cabinet pulls, faucets, the door from the garage. And here's the truth. If something feels loose, stuck, squeaky, or crooked, the buyer instantly thinks, well, if this small stuff wasn't maintained, what else wasn't? It doesn't mean that you need all new hardware. In fact, most homes don't. You're going to start with function. Does the front door open smoothly and lock without wrestling with it? Does the key turn easily? Does the garage entry door close properly on its own the way it's meant to for safety? Do any interior doors stick, drag, or not latch? Do the faucets drip or wobble? Do cabinet handles feel secure? These are tiny issues, but emotionally huge. Buyers associate smooth and solid with a well-cared-for home. You don't need to replace every doorknob in the house. You don't need to redo every hinge or handle. That can get expensive really fast. But if you have one shiny brass knob and one builder-grade silver knob and one random black lever all in the same hallway, yeah, you might want to match them. Coordinated hardware looks intentional and modern. And when you do replace something, matte black, brushed nickel, or simple levers, those are the styles Denver buyers love right now. But again, upgrading hardware is optional, fixing function is not. Small fixes equal big confidence boost. A little WD-40, a tightened screw, a reset strike plate so the door actually latches. These tiny things make your home feel ready, safe, and well-loved. And that is what buyers will pay you for. Now, this next part, it doesn't sound glamorous, but I promise you it matters more to Denver buyers than almost anything else. Energy efficiency. I know. It's not as exciting as new flooring or a pretty light fixture, but remember where we live. High altitude, dry air, temperature swings, and heating bills that love to surprise us. Buyers here are very tuned in to whether a home is drafty, outdated, and expensive to operate. And you don't need new windows to impress them. You really don't. In fact, that's one of the most common mistakes sellers make. Instead, look at the small stuff that quietly tells a buyer this home has been well maintained, like updating to a smart thermostat, sealing the gaps around the exterior doors and replacing worn-out weather stripping, adding simple attic insulation, swapping out old fluorescent lighting, and even getting your furnace serviced so that it runs smoothly, especially if you're listing in the winter. These are inexpensive fixes that show buyers the home has been well cared for, not just decorated. And let me tell you, a buyer who feels confident about your home's efficiency is a buyer who feels confident about writing you an offer. Hi, I'm Peggy Dursoff, a realtor with Live Denver Suburbs, powered by HomeSmart, and I specialize in helping women 50 plus sell their homes with confidence, especially when they're navigating the move solo. If you want help figuring out which upgrades make the biggest impact for your home, download my free guide. The link is right below in the description. You can download it anytime. And if you're planning a move in the next year, hit subscribe so you don't miss my next video in the Solo Seller Journey playlist. I'll meet you there, and we'll take this next step together.